So hi guys, today I just want to show you this really nice book I ordered from Amazon, and basically I got this because I was somewhat new to the world of Cyberpunk. The game is coming out rather soon, and from the trailers I saw, it was clear to me that it's quite a detailed, rich game, and I needed some background because I don't want to be lost in the beginning, like what is what, why certain things are happening. And yeah, I know there are a lot of videos on YouTube from the game itself, but I think that's a really good way to go if you don't want to spoil the game itself, but have the background knowledge. So I think we can go through this book page by page. I might comment on a few things as well. So let's see what's inside. Okay, so yeah, pages look as they are stitched together. That's a nice touch. And yeah, this picture was also on the cover. These are the 4 styles people follow in their fashion in the world of Cyberpunk. And here's what we can expect. So first, it talks about the world, about the setting of the game. Okay, so then about technology, cyberware, weapons, vehicles, braindance. Then about the city itself, about the districts, then how society is imagined in this game, law and disorder, and finally this. Okay, so yeah, what I also wanted to mention before we got into this, that the book is written in a really nice format. So it's like a series of interviews, or like somebody from the game world is telling you how things are. So it's not like a game guide or something boring, but it feels like a genuine experience. It's really cool. So I think oh yeah, and the book is full of these really nice concept arts, which serve as a guideline how the world is created inside. So that's also an important word here. That this is a dystopian world, and it means that basically it's the opposite of utopia. So it's a place where you don't want to be, because everything is just as bad as you can imagine. So it's very unhuman. It really, gives you the dilemma that technology is giving us, a better world, a more convenient world, or it just, dehumanizes society. So yeah, the story starts here with the war, which completely changes the whole society in around 220. And yeah, you see fourth corporate world. It goes into detail, how this war happened, what was the outcome. But it's basically a complete collapse of the society as we knew, and then emerges a new dystopian world as you can see, welcome to Night City, and at the same time the guards are beating up, you know, just a tourist or passenger. Real water is advertised, you know, like there is not even clean water in the future, so that's quite bad. So yeah, that's what you should expect. This is not a apocalyptic world like Fallout, not at all. The dystopia is a different thing. Dystopia is something like this. Here's a pregnant woman advertising weapons, so that's completely crazy. And you know, the kids, you know, it's not normal. But if you go through the book, you will understand how it's related to, you know, real life, because it's like a joke. You should take it as a joke, but you know, behind every joke there is some kind of message, which is also somewhat true. So, technology. Yeah, pause it if you want to read that long text. So yeah, it's really cool actually. What's here? Cyberware. Oh yeah, it goes into detail. You know, you have these different tiers like the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and it goes into it's detailed enough, you know, to be really interesting, but I don't think it's too detailed. So as you can see, there are a lot of pictures in this book. It won't overwhelm you with unnecessary information. It's really what you need to know, but with really nice illustrations. For example, this lady is like having Mark, what is it, 5 or 4, I'm not really sure. So the most expensive tier of implants, and she doesn't even look human, but the whole point is that she's probably a celebrity, and that's why she looks the way she looks. So yeah, this is also a scene from the game. Somebody's completely changing their jaw. Okay, weapons. So you will have a lot of weapons here, and most of the corporations or the businesses are making weapons, so that's kind of strange. You know, the whole economy in Night City is built on producing weapons, basically. At least that's the impression I got. So here are the tiers for the weapons. So the Arasaka, Tsunami, Kangtao, these are the top tier weapons. Then you have middle tier weapons and lower tier weapons. And BA, actually that's funny because, you know, this is a BA ad. It's, as I understood it, these are 3D printed guns, which are like super cheap. So guns are like everywhere. And yeah, you have this huge turret here, and it says that maybe with an exoskeleton you can even take it with you, but you know, as you can see, it is something really heavy, so that's not the intended use. Oh wow, yeah, that's a really cool picture. I think this guy is controlling this spider-like robot, and that's why he has these augmented eyes, and you know, it's really futuristic. Weapons. Yeah, this knife has a poison capsule attached to it. Yeah, it's really cool. They will have all kinds of melee weapons as well in the game. Okay. Okay, what else is here? Vehicles. Oh yeah, that's also an interesting part, because basically you will have flying vehicles, you know, like for the trauma team, and some really rich people might have the flying cars. But normally everybody else, including us, we are bound to you know, to the ground, to use motorcycles, cars, which use a type of fuel which is an alcohol substrate, as I understood. So it's made from crops, but it's they're not mainly not electric cars, mainly not. But everything, you know, is very modifiable, very detailed, really cool. I love this design. It looks old and new at the same time, so it's really cool, I think. Oh yeah, so also the cars have tiers, like top tier, middle tier, lower tier. The motorcycles, yeah, really nice. Braindance. Yeah, that's also an interesting concept. It's braindance, as you can see, it's similar to VR, with the addition that you can also feel the feelings, you know, what they implement in that movie. So it's very similar to VR, just richer. So yeah, and you will have these braindance bars in different, you know, more shady ones, you know, lower quality places. Yeah, so you can also have these braindance bars at you know, at your own home if you can afford them. And yeah, so that's also interesting, that also these films which are you can see in braindance, they are edited. So it means that it might not be necessarily exactly, you know, how things happened in the past, but it can be, yeah. And of course you can have also everything you you know, might imagine in these VRs. So this is an example of something like black market, or, you know, some shady place for braindance. And you know, some places sell illegal stuff, like, I don't even know, something, you know, really disturbing, you might, you know, not enjoy as much, or, you know, I mean, I'm also somewhat curious how the game will present this kind of stuff. Okay, so the celebrities, so these are the people who are recorded while the brain dance. So she's an actor, and as you can see, she changed her skin. She no longer has human skin, like, at all. It's all chrome, because she's rich and, you know, just want to show it off. It's quite crazy, actually, not having, you know, human skin. Yeah, this is some kind of ad for a movie. Oh yeah, there are also people who are completely, you know, lost in this braindance world, and that's all they do. Okay, net running, that was also a new term for me, and it's basically hacking, because according to the story, when the war happened, the old net or internet, it was completely wiped out. So some kind of virus, destroyed the servers, or the access to data. So basically, in the world of Cyberpunk, all the online information you can access are just hubs, like local hubs. It's not like a worldwide web, and there is a lot of places on the web in this game, which is like deep web and dangerous, and who knows what you can find there. I think that's also really cool. So, for example, this is also, she's a hacker. And yeah, it's really interesting how you can connect to the web, because that's like the tier 1, with this cable from your hand. Then you can have this system with higher bandwidth, supposedly. But the point is, it's also really interesting. It might be a little spoiler that according to the game, when you have a high-speed connection to the net, your body heats up, so you need cooling. So one of the videos you can see the main character, just going into an ice bath, and that's the reason, because probably he was hacking. And for lower tier gear, you don't have inbuilt cooling solution. So that's how tier 3 is better, 4, 5. So as you can see here, the guy has his blood in these artificial veins running and arteries running through, and that's because it must be cooled down. That's a really cool thing. Okay, so Night City. So the city itself, this is one of the best chapters here, I think. I like the chapters, but this is really interesting because you can imagine the place where you are. So first of all, why is it called Night City? It's because of this guy, Richard Knight. He was the one who planned the city, to build it. And according to the story, he was murdered, and it's just the legacy is left, and also the corporation under his name, but we will talk about it a bit later. So Watson, this is the northern part of the city. We have the Kabuki, this is here, Arasaka waterfront, industrial north side industrial district, and Little China. So Little China, really nice. Interesting. Really colorful place. Kabuki, this is where you will find Lizzie's bar. This is a really poor area of the city, as you can see. But I think this is like we will start out somewhere here, or on the first few missions we will come across this region probably. North side district. This is where you will find the people, you can see in the trailers with this one eye and really dangerous fellas. Arasaka waterfront, this is like a completely closed big facility where this corporation makes its shady businesses and the transportation of goods. Westbrook, so this is east part of the town. We have Japantown, North Oaks, and Charter Hills. Japantown, this is like a party district, so it's more modern, cleaner, a lot of bars and discos and as it says, people come here at the evenings. There will be a lot of nightlife probably. Charter Hill, it's where the corpos live. It's like a living quarter, and those who make it, so to speak, the CEOs and so on, they live here. North Oaks, like huge villas and fancy stuff. Celebrities live here probably. Okay, city center. So we have Corpo Plaza downtown, Well Springs, Haywood with Glen, Vista del Rey. Corpo Plaza, it's like obviously the World Trade Center, or something like you can see in big cities, Toronto, New York, or yeah, you get the idea, I think. Downtown, yeah, this is also a busy part of the city. Haywood. So yeah, this is the picture we had already, but as I understood, you basically, as you come out in this way, it gets more and more poor. So that's my understanding from the the descriptions. Well Springs, as you can see, it's already not that nice. Yeah, it's kind of strange, but this seems more normal. Glen, Vista del Rey, so it's the southern part, it's where the Latinos live, and it's a lot more dangerous than the previous districts. Most districts have their own criminal bands or some kind of groups who dominate. Santo Domingo, Arroyo, and this. So it's an industrial. Arroyo, it's an industrial area. It's also dangerous, quite dangerous. And Rancho Coronado. So the book says that it's not as bad as the other districts, but actually from the pictures, I don't think that's a fancy place. Pacifica. So this is like the south. West Windy State. So you will have a lot of groups in this area as well. I don't want to skip ahead, but we will talk about the groups as well. Vertical Society, Slice of Night Cities Society. Okay. So Street View. So that's actually an interesting quote here, because this guy says that there is no middle class. Everybody is either poor or rich. There is no middle class. And then it talks about the rich and powerful. These are the corpos basically who run the city, because there is no government really. The city is run by the big corporations, even the police, you can say. So this is like the corpo lifestyle, flashy things, they take drugs to be more efficient at work or whatever. That's a typical rat race. Oh, so here are the corporations themselves. So Arasaka, that's like one of the most important ones. You might remember that they even have their own district. They make guns and all kinds of other technology related stuff. Militech. These were like the big rivals, the Militech and Arasaka. This has a Japanese origin, and this has a American origin or US origin. Kangtao, this is I think Chinese, and it's also quite a huge corporation. And as far as I understood, this is like the only positive corporation, the Night Corporation, which is keeping the legacy of the founder for the city. So interesting what their goals might be. Maybe to destroy the other corporations, I don't know. This is Trauma Team, Kiroshi. They make eye implants. It's really interesting. Yeah, so eye implants like for this rock band. Look at her. It's quite crazy. Okay, so there is actually a middle class as well, and it's basically business owners, most typically, but they also have to pay, protection money for the gangs. So it's not really, it's dystopian. That's the whole point. This is a dystopian world with dystopian events. Okay, so the poor, there is a lot of poor people in this future, a lot. You see, they might also have cyberware, but lower tier, and they will also protect their, things. Law and disorder. So it should be law and order, but you understand the pun. Law enforcement. You also have the cops for employed by the corporations, by each corporation, as I understand, and you have also the street cops, which are probably employed by the Night Corporation, and they are less equipped than the other ones, but they also have like the SWAT, or the commando, which is more equipped. Gangs. Oh yeah. Look at this fella. You can tell he's up to some kind of crazy bad shit. So what do we have here? Maelstrom. So these are the guys which you will encounter on the north industrial, district. They are very dangerous by the description. They basically use any means to become stronger, and use every accessible implantation, but at the same time they lose their humanity. So a lot of them go crazy, and they basically just like the mafia, they try to just gather more power and rob, and they're really bad people. Animals. These are like the gym people. They do everything to get physically stronger. It's really interesting that her skin is like bird or something. Really cool. The voodoo boys. So these are, as I understood, these guys are pro hackers, and they're not really a combat type of people, but they can hack almost anything. 6th Street, this is some kind of patriotic craziness going on here. So they also make their own rules, and basically they formed to fight criminals, but they also probably can have their own, you know, crimes, so to speak. So these are not saints either, and they are not controlled by the government or any corporation. Okay, so these are basically hookers, and they are also not really how should I put it, an offensive clan, but they do protect themselves. So if you attack one of them, then probably they will defend her, because, you know, that's a group thing among them. Tiger claws, so these are like the Yakuza, Japanese. By the description, they will be in several districts in Japantown, of course, but in other districts as well. And this is like a really powerful. So this is like a really powerful clan in the game. They compare it to the Yakuza, so like, you know, dangerous mafia guys. And you will find them in Japantown, but also in other parts. So this is like one of the strongest groups in the game. Then you have the Valentinos, so these are the Latino people. They also have their own culture and, you know, organization. So that's the other big one. And you will have like random scavengers, you know, which don't belong to any group. They will just attack you for your cyberware. And now we have this chapter on the Nomads. That's also interesting, because basically these are the free people who don't belong to corporations and, you know, live freely outside the city. They are really good mechanics. Everybody, you know, has a car, and they also have a good education. That's really interesting. It's not like the street kid, you know, who is like maybe good with the local mafia, but so yeah, so the Nomads can also have groups. One of them is these guys, for example, and you will have also offensive type of groups. Will just wait for their prey in the desert and, you know, attack them and take their car and whatever they can. Oh, that's a really nice quote. Yeah, I really like this picture. So then it goes through a bit of background about the term cyberpunk, where it comes from. You know, cyber is anything which is technology merged with biological, entities or people. And punk is really about the rebellion against the system. And it says that when the war started, according to the book, it was more important, but nowadays it's more like a fashion trend, and there might be another revolution, maybe. So that's the big question here. Afterlife. This is an important bar. I'm not even sure where it is. Maybe it's written somewhere, but you know, that will be an important place, I'm pretty sure. So that's about it. That's the end of the book. I hope you enjoyed, you know, just going through this. I can highly recommend it. It's really good quality, as you could see. The artwork is excellent, and the information written down is detailed, but not too detailed. So I was very happy with this purchase. So if you plan playing this game, you might consider getting this book. Okay, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will answer them, and see you next time. Bye bye.